The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small, and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror, we'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Welcome to the cult. Oh, God damn it. I'm Chris Stachiw, and this is the Kulturecast, and I'm joined by Eric, finally, again. He's back.
Hey.
Just for a fucking hot minute, though, because you'll be off to Egypt very soon.
Yes, this is true. I'm leaving in 36 hours.
Jesus Christ. But until then, we're talking about a little film that you probably didn't even realize came out, to be perfectly honest. I hadn't heard about it until like 3 days ago.
When I saw it on the list of movies that we were going to talk about was the first time I had ever heard about it.
When I was looking for a new movie to watch, I heard about it.
My immediate thought afterwards was, why are we going to talk about this movie?
Well, that movie is Bad Samaritan, and yeah, you probably didn't even realize it was coming out. It's directed by Dean Devlin. Yes, that Dean Devlin. Producer Dean Devlin. He worked with Roland Emmerich in the mid-90s. He produced Stargate, Independence Day, Godzilla, The Patriot, Eight-Legged Freaks. This is his second directorial film. You want to know what his first was, Eric?
I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
Geostorm.
Oh,
what a change from Geostorm, right?
Oh, man. This movie and Geostorm could not be any different.
Right. The film is directed by Dean Devlin.
Any more different?
It couldn't be any more different.
They couldn't be more differenter.
But the film is directed by Dean Devlin and stars David Tennant as a sadistic billionaire whose life is thrown upside down by a valet parker who breaks into his house only to find a woman that he has tied up and is going to kill, break her?
I don't know.
I'd kill her. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Any rich people watching this movie are just some spouse is gonna turn to their other spouse, significant other, whatever, and just say, "See, honey, this is why we don't valet."
Right.
Happy birthday, Mother.
Sean, is that Emerald?
I got a good deal through a lady at work.
Really? You still digital cameraman? You still use these?
Absolutely.
I love this one. Crazy to think what you could do if you did this for your full-time job.
Just a poor, struggling artist.
Enjoy your dinner, sir.
See you in 10 minutes, brother.
Welcome to Nino's. That's a beautiful car, sir. Yeah? Don't touch it.
Navigating home. talk to me.
Black card.
Shut up, Doc, for real?
Yeah. Everything cool on your end, yeah?
They're just getting their salads now, man.
Just checking the
Jesus Christ!
Help me, please.
We don't have much time.
Leave me so soon.
Maserati.
I'll be right up. Dude, the guy's outside!
Where the hell are you?
I'm sorry. Visions.
He's got a girl chained up.
What were you doing at this guy's house? I was robbing him.
Sir, we're investigating a girl chained up in the office.
Sorry to disappoint you.
You're gonna stay on it, right? You're gonna keep searching for the girl?
Stop harassing him.
Oh!
What's wrong?
We're not safe. None of us.
It's all good, I got your back. You're crazy, you know that.
Crazy people
Get caught.
You know why you're not in their little jail right now? Because you're in mine.
He's gonna kill us. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna get you out of here.
What did you think of Bad Samaritan?
It was surprisingly pretty good for a movie that I had literally heard absolutely nothing about. I am kind of surprised that this movie didn't get any press at all. Nothing. I have seen nothing about this movie, heard nothing about this movie until I watched the trailer for it 4 days ago or something like that. I had no idea. I went to the theater on Saturday night at 9:30 or something like that. And there was, I don't know, maybe 15 people in the theater. So yeah, this movie, I'm surprised that it got as wide of a release as it got with as little press as they gave it. Surprisingly good. I thought we were gonna maybe have, I don't know. I'm gonna make the first comparison of many comparisons to a movie that is semi-similar to this movie in The Snowman. And The Snowman, it is exactly the opposite of this movie in a couple of ways. The Snowman got a ton of press and was terrible. And this movie got almost no press at all and is totally serviceable and pretty good.
I think it may be safe to say that The Snowman was the worst film we watched in theaters last year.
Yeah, it was between The Snowman and God, what was that movie? The Dark Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, The Dark Tower and Snowman were just cobbled together pieces of trash. Maybe if you combine those two movies, it would make a cool movie, but yeah, each of them is terrible. Anyways, this movie does not suffer from snowmanitis. It makes sense mostly, and it just got no press, which is, I wonder if this movie was slated to probably go direct to Netflix or something like that. And then after some test screenings, they were like, oh, this is getting surprisingly positive feedback and stuff. Maybe we should release it wide and people will go see it.
That kind of feels like the case, doesn't it?
Good, not great, surprising. I think when I walked out of the movie, I was like, wow, that was pretty good, because I was surprised at how good it was. Now that I've had a couple of days to sort of simmer on it, it's a good movie. But, it suffers from, I think, a lot of indie movie-isms. Good, not great. Surprised at how good it was. What'd you think?
Oh, no, it completely falls apart in the third act. It's really disappointing, because that's kind of, like you said, that's kind of what I expect from an indie movie. And it's an indie horror thriller. It's not a horror movie. It's being classified as a horror movie, but...
No, it's a thriller.
It's a
movie.
thriller,
It's like a suspense.
Yeah. So I liked it. I think it was positively mediocre, if that makes sense. I mean, it's not great. It's just good. David Tennant is kind of the only thing in the film that really sticks out, right? I mean, everything else is just kind of rote, but David Tennant, giving him kind of a bigger role as a villain and really playing on his strengths. And, if you watched the first season of Jessica Jones, David Tennant can be a villain.
Oh, yeah.
And he can really can really lay it on when he wants to. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who. He is probably my favorite Doctor of the most recent run. And so everyone thinks of him as like a, happy-go-lucky guy from Doctor Who. But man, this is not that character at all. And this is
No.
more in line with Kilgrave.
Yeah, definitely. I totally forgot about Kilgrave until you just mentioned it just now. And I was
But
like,
that's what this feels like, right?
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah. And I mean, I only watched the first season of Jessica Jones, like maybe when it came out, and I haven't thought about it since then. So, wow. Yeah. David Tennant, be more villains. You're pretty good at it.
Yeah, no, he's great. And that's kind of what the film strength is him as the villain. Because
you can tell that like they spent a good large majority chunk of their budget probably on getting David Tennant to be in this movie.
Well, I mean, is David Tennant in that big of demand?
I don't know. I feel like once you're the Doctor, like your paycheck just like gets exponentially larger afterwards.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. David Tennant,
do like American audiences know who David Tennant is? Maybe they do now because of Jessica Jones, but I mean, not like British audiences would.
Yeah, I guess that's
foreign
true.
audiences, maybe. I don't know how you want to perceive that. I don't know how big Doctor Who is outside of the UK and the United States.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know.
But it doesn't even have anyone else in the film of like note. I mean, Robert Sheehan, who he's good in Misfits. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That's another British TV show. Obviously, he's Irish.
Never seen it. So I don't know.
And then you got Carrie Condon, who was in who does the voice of Friday in the MCU films. So she was the voice of Friday in Infinity War and in Civil War and Homecoming. So that's what Carrie Condon is known for. And I guess she's in Better Call Saul, but I've never watched that. But everyone else is kind of like I've never seen these people before.
Yeah, I think mostly it's a cast of people I've never seen or people I've only seen like kind of in other like not great movies that I was like, I'm either not going to see that movie or it's just like on TV and there's nothing else on.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
So like I kind of watch 30 minutes of it and then decide that I'd rather watch sports or read a fucking book or something. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of unrecognizable people in this movie. And I think David Tennant is like he's like definitely the top billed guy. And the whole movie is just centered around him the entire time.
And what's funny is it's Robert Sheehan and Carrie Condon are both Irish. And then David Tennant is Scottish. And they're all, and this film is set in fucking Portland, Oregon.
Oh, I know.
It's like, what? Like, it's just, maybe it's a little bit of synchronicity or I don't know, but what? So bizarre.
I don't know, man. But I think people from across the pond can do a better American accent than Americans can, I guess.
Well, except for Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch, I just watched.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Strange. It's better in Infinity War.
It was less noticeable in Infinity War, and I went back and watched the movie Doctor Strange last night for some weird reason, and I didn't hate it as much this time around as I did when I first watched it or whatever, but it's still pretty bad.
That I've had, like, you're not the first person to tell me that. that like they went back and rewatched Doctor Strange after Infinity War. And we're like,
oh, really?
Yeah, like I've known like 5 or 6 people that have done that because everybody liked Doctor Strange in Infinity War. And so like they're like, well, give his original movie a chance. And some people came away with it being like, I still kind of feel the same way. And then some people came back and were like, I really liked it. So
yeah, I don't know. Doctor Strange is cool. I just like Doctor Strange because it's like a totally different side of the MCU that's not, you know, fucking Captain America and Iron Man or whatever. But we're not here to talk about Doctor Strange because who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean, David Tennant is part of the MCU one way or another.
He is?
Yeah, he's Kilgrave. That's MCU, is it not?
I don't know. Is it?
I assume. I mean, they talk about the battle for New York in one of those TV shows. I think it's the first season of Daredevil. I mean, I always assumed that they were part of the MCU.
I don't know.
They sure feel like they're part of the MCU.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, like Nick Fury or no one has ever showed up on them, but...
That's true.
I mean, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury has shown up on that show.
Oh,
well, like,
he has?
Yeah. Well, it's also got a character from... It's also got a character from the movies. I mean, it has that one guy, Agent Coulson.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah. Who is like now just like... Where did he go in the movies?
He got killed.
Got demoted to TV. Yeah. That's what happened.
He got killed in the movies, but he didn't die. He got brought back to life, and now he's in the TV show. I don't know. It's fucking dumb. But yeah, there's 2 people from Marvel stuff in this movie. So, you know, the Marvel reach is slowly encompassing everyone.
All right. Which then now makes me feel like, where the fuck was S.H.I.E.L.D. during all of Infinity War? I know you guys already talked about Infinity War, but I wasn't around for that conversation. Where the fuck was S.H.I.E.L.D. during that whole movie?
I have no idea. They
waited until the after credits sequence to fucking just like beep fucking Captain Marvel on a fucking beeper from 30 years ago. Like, fuck you.
From the future.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
Does that mean that Captain Marvel only exists in the 90s and not now?
You'll have to watch Avengers Part 4 to figure that part out.
All right. I hate superhero movies again. All right. Let's...
No, you don't.
I do.
What I hate is indie horror movies that completely fall apart in the third act.
Well, first of all, it's not a horror movie.
Okay, indie thriller, whatever, fine. I hate indie movies that completely fall apart in the third act.
Well, then you should stop watching indie movies.
I stopped watching movies like this.
That's true. Anyways.
Because this movie completely fell apart in the third act.
Yeah, it was hanging on by a thread for most of it, and then it really went off the rails, and then they just said, fuck it! And then they threw in a bunch of tropey things, and then the movie was over. And I was like, oh man, really? That's where you're going to go with this? Like, this is weird and dumb.
Well, it felt like a really novel concept and like an interesting premise. And then when the third act rolls around, it falls apart. And I was just kind of like, this just feels like a cheap horror movie, like a cheap thriller.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good.
Yeah.
I mean, the motivations for Robert Sheehan's character, which I don't know... It can't be coincidence that his character shares a name with Keanu Reeves' character from The Replacements, can it?
Oh, I don't know.
Because Keanu Reeves' character is Shane Falco. And in this movie, it's Sean Falco.
I don't know.
Every time they were saying his name, I just laughed because I was like, is this intentional? It can't be.
I don't think it is, but I mean, fuck, it might be. Maybe you're the only person who got that.
I don't know about. Well, The Replacements is an awesome movie, so I'd hope not.
Yeah.
But when you get to the final act of the film, where he's finally like going after David Tennant's character, I was like, well, we're probably gonna get some just stereotypical third act nonsense, and that's exactly what happened. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't original. I mean, it's pretty much paint by numbers towards the end of the film. And that's like a real disappointment. And like once you kind of find out more about what David Tennant's character like is doing with the women, it feels really stupid.
Yeah, just like they had a really cool build up. And yeah, like the first 2/3 of the movie, I thought like watching David Tennant become more and more unhinged and crazier and fucking up this kid's life like more and more. I was like, man, this guy's fucked up. He is a sadistic dude. Like, this shit is fucking for real. This is serious. Like, holy shit. And then the payoff at the very end is very weak in comparison. So, if anything, like, they should have gone bigger and just, like, I don't know, like, get even more fucked up. It's like you yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, and then the end of the film, again, like the way this film wraps up, it almost makes the rest of the film just like, oh, I don't really even care.
Yeah, kind of.
Because there is no wrap up or no conclusion to the story of Shane and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is, but are we?
Oh, I didn't really give a shit about Shane's girlfriend like the entire time. I was like,
but you know what I mean? Like they were trying to make us care, and then at the end of the film, they're like, oh, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like all this insanely fucked up shit happens. And then at the very end, it's like, and who cares?
And it feels like, it ultimately feels like this film could have benefited from what they did in Infinity War, where they focus more on the villain and less on the hero.
Yeah. I think they should have. I think if halfway through the movie you flip-flop and all of a sudden you're not going from Shane, now you got me confused.
Hey, I'm just pointing out what they make it seem like.
Whatever. If you flip it from the kid's perspective to David Tennant's perspective and really focus more on him for the second half of the movie, that would have been awesome. That would have been totally great. Because then you'd have been like, oh my God, shit's getting so crazy. Like, oh my God, what? Now we're following, wait, what? Like, now we're seeing everything from the crazy guy's perspective. And then you could have just gone completely weird and completely off the rails. And it would have been really cool.
But that's the thing, they didn't. And it just feels so predictable, right?
Yeah, it's very paint by numbers, like thriller, like, crazy guy fucks up your life type of movie. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of movies that are like this movie. It's very reminiscent of, I don't know. I can't even, a name of a movie doesn't come to mind, but there's at least 5 of these types of movies that come out every single year, and I don't watch any of them.
And that's unfortunate because there are better movies like this.
Sure.
The Guest, the host.
Oh yeah, The Guest I thought was great. The Guest was very awesome.
And then The Host too, right?
The Host. You're thinking of A Perfect Host.
Okay, A Perfect Host, which we did a Kulturecast on.
The Host is the Korean monster movie.
Yeah, that movie. I'm not a fan of that movie, but The Perfect Host is cool.
Yeah, A Perfect Host is great. I really like that movie a fucking lot.
But that's what this feels like. This feels like the same thing. Those movies don't have that third act meltdown because
exactly.
In what is it? The Guest, that movie, it completely goes overboard at the end.
Yeah, The Guest goes fully slasher movie at the very end, which is really cool. And there's also, I think we talked about it recently, or maybe it was on the last Kulturecast that I was even on. Oh my God. I can't remember it. Chris, my brain just broke just now. The Invitation is the movie that I'm thinking of.
Which one is that?
Maybe we didn't talk about it. The Invitation is, it's like a total thriller suspense movie. There's a bunch of people are invited over to a dinner party at a friend's house who's somebody they haven't seen for, a few years. And then shit
that one also
weird
goes completely
and crazy.
Nuts at the end.
Oh yeah, and the very last shot of that movie makes the whole movie even more fucked up and even better. So it's shit like that where you can hold the tension for an hour and a half and actually have a good payoff at the very end is doable for sure. I mean, there's a lot of movies that fucking do it and they do it fantastically, but it's unfortunate that most movies just kind of go with the cop-out easy, just kind of, expected and tropey ending.
Well, and that's the thing is that this movie doesn't fully commit. It just kind of says, oh, okay, well, third act, we're going to go with a very stereotypical third act, where there's a pretty tidy resolution for the most part.
Yeah, and there's they go to the cabin and then there's a showdown at the cabin. And then you think that, your hero is going to lose and all seems lost. And then something magical happens and the tides are turned. And then
you won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue, heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For JD Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.
Well, something stereotypical happens.
Yeah, the magical stereotypical, like I thought you were dead, but you're not dead. Spoiler warning to the people who listen to this podcast who are actually going to go see this movie, which maybe.
Let's take a break, and when we get back, we'll talk about spoilers and what happens at the end of the movie.
Who is Carl Kolchak?
He's a reporter.
Now that is news, Vincenzo. News! And we are a newspaper. We are supposed to print news, not suppress it.
With the INS.
What's an INS?
Independent News Service, sir, founded in 1904 by Enrico Paluzzi.
Who seems to have a nose for the strange and unusual.
Well, last year in Las Vegas, I uncovered a series of murders that turned out to have been committed by a vampire.
And what is the Kolchak Tapes?
It's a podcast.
All about Carl Kolchak.
What's a Kolchak?
The Night Stalker.
And where can you get it?
On iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at www.kolchaktapes.com.
As foolish a game as any that Gory the Ghoul could make up.
Movies have become a portal to a vast and growing pop culture universe, but you don't need to go over the rainbow to get your pop culture fix. Just head to Rainbow Comics, Cards, and Collectibles. They are your one-stop shop for comics, toys, posters, games, and more. Not a pop culture nerd? No problem. They have something for everyone, including a wide array of sports cards, collectible card games, even memorabilia. Stop by one of their 2 locations today. The flagship location at 3310 South Minnesota Avenue, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or their newest location at 1501 Pine Lake Road, Suite 17, Lincoln, Nebraska. Most importantly, don't forget to add them on Facebook for pop culture news, weekly live videos, and special events.
Here's what some people are saying about the Projection Booth podcast.
Week after week, I'm mesmerized by the focus given great films and questionable films alike. But every episode is a learning and entertaining experience.
This is hands down the best movie podcast. They cover so many different genres across so many years, from obscure movies to blockbusters.
If there's only one podcast about movies and cinema that you listen to, make it this one.
The Projection Booth Podcast, with new episodes available every week at projectionboothpodcast.com.
All right, so we are back and we are talking about Bad Samaritan, a film you probably haven't even heard of. So, spoilers, the film wraps up too tidily for my liking. With David Tennant being kidnapped.
Chris likes a loose wrap. He likes it dry and loose.
Like sand.
Ugh.
The film wraps up too neatly.
Yeah, there's a nice little fucking red bow on the end of this movie that seems a little bit, not even a little bit, a lot of bit sort of like unearned. Any one thing could have happened throughout this movie that would have thrown this movie completely off the rails and it would have been over in 5 seconds. But they paced the movie in such a way that I didn't really notice all of that stuff until I thought about it later on or whatever. There's a lot of the like cry wolf trope, like, you know, a kid going like, this guy has a woman in his house or whatever, and like she's chained up, and people are just like, kid, you've been arrested before. Nobody trusts you. And I'm just like, what? Like
that whole thing, that whole like C plot in the film is so fucking stupid.
It's so stupid. It's one of those things where it's like,
unbelievable.
If you tell the cops that there's a woman tied up somewhere, that somebody is torturing somebody or has them held captive, I'm just going to assume, I'm not a fucking cop, but I'm going to assume that the cops are going to take that shit really fucking serious and actually like do some real police work to see if that shit is there. Not this fucking half-assed like who cares bullshit that the cops in this movie do. And then at the very fucking end, they're like, oh, fuck, it's this guy. Which, what? Like, if you're already like, oh, this guy about David Tennant's character, what was his name? Kale Eichenreich. Yeah, whatever. Kale, like the salad.
Yeah. White man name.
Yeah. So
rich white man name 1, 2, 3 is what it felt
so
like.
So Kale Salad, the fact that the FBI even knows who Kale Salad even is, and they don't have like him under some sort of like surveillance or monitoring like at all, or they don't have anybody that checks up on him like every once in a while, is like, why? Then why is he on like an FBI watch list or database? Or why do people in the FBI know who he is before
they don't know who he is. They know about the serial killer who is going around, but they don't know who he is.
Oh, I was under the impression that when they saw the picture of the guy, they were like, oh, fuck, we know that guy.
No, they didn't.
Oh, maybe it was just like they saw the picture and they put it together or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, bad job of explaining. Even worse police work.
Well, that's why he ends up going to the FBI.
Yeah.
The way the movie does things doesn't feel like it's taking any chances or doing anything creative.
Yeah. It feels very paint by numbers.
And it also feels like a lot of stuff is just like mishmashed, right?
They definitely like throw a lot of stuff in there, like where shit all of a sudden like escalates like really quickly. This could have been one of those movies where like you just have a guy who you fuck with or shouldn't have fucked with, or you found out too much about something, and now there is somebody who's tormenting you for it afterwards or whatever, which is essentially like the base plot of this movie. And then like the torment that Kale Salad puts, Irish boy through is like escalates like extremely, like very quickly. It gets really fucked up really fast. And I think that sort of raises the expectations for the ending too high.
I think the first 2/3 of the movie raise the expectations for the film too high.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is like, they do this great job of building things up and going like, oh, fuck, shit's getting real. Like, oh, shit's getting even more real. And then the ending is just kind of like, wait, but what happened to all the other like fucked up stuff that happened in the first 2/3 of the movie that like we suddenly don't care about anymore?
Well, and they don't give us a reason to care.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, and here's the end of the movie. The end. It's like, that's it?
I mean, the whole stuff with the girlfriend, God, yeah, that was pretty fucked up when he just beats the hell out of fucking that guy's girlfriend.
Right? There's no conclusion.
Yeah, I'm not laughing because he's beating this guy's girlfriend. I was just laughing at the sheer insanity of it. And then like he murders his friend and like his whole family. Like, holy shit, dude. David Tennant goes off the fucking rails for real.
And then we're not given any,
Yeah. And then there's no payoff at the end. It's just like, oh, David Tennant was that little fucking psychopath boy at the beginning of the movie, and he's a serial killer and he's obsessed with horses, and that's the end.
When they start explaining that is where I just completely check out.
Yeah, that was when I was like, I don't care.
He's breaking people, not horses. Like, oh, that's really that is.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that I'm like, how did this get past? Like somebody was like, hey, I want to make this movie. I guess when it's the guy who's writing and directing it, and it's the guy who produced
He didn't write it.
He
didn't write it. He didn't write it.
He didn't write it?
He did not write it.
Are you sure he didn't write it?
He did not write it.
Okay.
The script originally was going to be directed by someone else, and he ended up coming on board to direct it.
Well, I don't know. If I would have seen that on a script and been like, really? He breaks, quote on air quotes, big time, air quotes, big time, breaks people like they're horses. Like,
and a character says that out loud.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not scary. That's not fucked up. That's stupid.
It sounds kind of like kinky, like a sex thing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of the problem. Is like it sounds like a sex thing, it's not like a serial killer thing. So he like breaks them and then shoots them and then throws them in a pit. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like something that like my gay friend tries to do when he hits on straight guys.
I'm trying to break them.
Yeah. I'm like, what? It doesn't make any sense in the context of this movie. or in any sort of context, like what? Who writes this shit? Who agrees to be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'll fucking do that shit. Write a better ending. The build up to the end, I'm convinced that everybody was so stoked on like the first 2/3 of this movie that they were like, the ending is kind of whatever, but like the rest of the movie is so good that like the ending will just work itself out. Like, no, it won't. That's a stupid ass ending.
With as much bad shit as David Tennant does in the film, his comeuppance in the end falls flat.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God. Why do you leave him? I would have killed the shit out of him. Why don't people kill the bad guys in movies? I don't understand it. They're supposed to show like, oh, I'm the good guy. Bro. Yeah, I have restraint, or like I'm a better person because like I won't kill somebody even if they deserve it. Like nobody is like that. Not one, like if you put anybody that I know through the shit that this kid went through in this movie, everybody would have fucking killed this guy like in a heartbeat. Like it wouldn't have even been a second thought. And I don't understand why people don't do that in movies. Kill the fucking guy. Kill him. That would have been better. That would have been, the ending would have still been bad, but I would have been like, well, at least he fucking died.
No, I'm with you. It's so goofy. And the way that he's like chained up at the end, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be like, you know.
Yeah, now he's the animal or whatever. And yeah, it's stupid. Stupid metaphor.
Yeah, it takes the good performance from David Tennant and kind of squanders it.
It takes a really good performance from David Tennant and it almost makes it laughable at the end, because it's just like, it is like now reduced to just who cares, you know. It's just it almost, for me, it really cheapened the performance and made like the parts where he was going full crazy over.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times, or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months, or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
Have you ever wanted to dive deeper into the horror movies you love? Beyond the Blood is a horror podcast for fans who want more than just surface-level screams. We do deep dives into the movies that shaped us, digging into director commentaries, behind-the-scenes stories, deleted scenes, and the special features that most people skip. Each episode is a love letter to the genre. We break down how these films were made, the creative risks that paid off or didn't, and the lasting impact they've had on the genre as a whole. From 70s slashers to modern nightmares, we celebrate the craft, chaos, and characters that keep us coming back. If you're the kind of fan who rewatches movies with the commentary on, or you simply grew up in the video store horror aisle, the Beyond the Blood podcast was made for you. New episodes every single week. Subscribe, and let's dig deep. Welcome to the Beyond the Blood podcast.
For the top, like, seems stupider.
Oh, I think that some of the scenes where he's going completely over the top are kind of too much to begin with, honestly.
Yeah, but if they would have just like gone full ham at the end and just allowed it to get fucking insane, then I would have totally been on board. I was like, oh yeah, all right, David, like get fucking crazy, get weird, like show me the fucking shit. And then at the end, they're just like, and it's over. Like, well,
it's not. It's bad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
The ending is bad.
Yeah. Is this the worst thriller movie that I've seen? Not even in the past fucking year, it's not. It's a totally serviceable movie that I think is better than the lack of press that it got, but it is still has, I mean, I don't know. We're harping on it because
I think there are parts of it that are better than the second Strangers movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the second Strangers movie, I think, is a different style of movie. I think The Strangers Pray at Night is more of a straight horror film than like this movie is trying to be more of like a psychological whatever. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this movie as a whole, I think felt more well put together than most like thrillers, you know, or suspense movies or even indie quote unquote horror movies than I see. It just is a shame that it suffers from third act itis, where like it just kind of limp fist, like just, yeah, it just kind of rolls across the finish line. Just like, and we made it, like, oh, thank fucking God, instead of like really pushing hard to, you know, like fucking finish in a big way.
Actually give the people who are watching the movie a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah. I keep going, and this is going to be really uncouth of me to say, but it's the only place that my brain is going right now, so I need to get it off of my chest, is I hate movies that give me just a sad, limp dick ending with no finish. I want to see the big fucking magical finale money shot, then credits.
Yeah, this movie doesn't really do that. This movie really kind of blue balls the ending.
Yeah, it's definitely like, and then that's it, and I'm done. Like, no.
It's a really disappointing ending. And you don't really get to see the bad guy get his comeuppance. Like,
yeah, what did they think? Like, that they were going to make a fucking sequel to this movie? Nobody saw this movie. They're not making a sequel.
That's the other kind of problem, is that the ending feels like a sequel ending, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't think so.
I hope it doesn't get one.
Then we have to eat 8 humble pie. So what would you give this film out of 5?
I'm going to give this movie like a 2. I think it would have been probably closer to like a 4 had they finished strong. But I think the ending really cheapens the rest of the movie. I think even David Tennant's performance is cheapened by the ending, and that's a total shame. David Tennant definitely carries this movie, and like we talked about, I think it would have been cool if they would have like sort of flipped the POV halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the movie, or, you know, whatever, or even just for like the final act. And we got to really get to see him go fully fucking crazy, which we see glimpses of like throughout the movie. And then the ending, yeah, it's just, you know, it sort of putters across the finish line instead of, you know, really ramming it home. So, yeah, it's a flaccid 2 from me.
I would give it a 2 as well. I mean, David Tennant's performance is not enough to save it at all. So he has a good performance, but it's not enough. So what do you think the film has on Rotten Tomatoes?
God, I want to say maybe in like the 40 to 46% range.
55%. Bad Samaritan delivers a handful of genre thrills and a stellar central performance by David Tennant that help offset iffy direction and a disappointingly mundane story. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's about how I feel about it. Yeah,
pretty much.
I guess, it's one of those movies where it's like, if you're into the performance and you're all about David Tennant, like, it's going to be cool, and you're going to be like, oh man, that's crazy. But like the rest of the movie is just, I don't know. It's lackluster.
Yeah. Well, let's take a break and we'll play a preview for the next Kulturecast.
About a year ago, we gave this city Robocop.
Ready for duty, partner?
Nothing I'd rather do. I think he's worked out pretty well. Have a seat. This is a bust. But things have become a little rougher out there. This unit needs millions of dollars in parts. You see, Robocop's off warranty.
He's one of mine, and I want him back on his feet.
I believe that Murphy's case was unusual, but not unique. We can find someone else, someone to whom the prospect might even be desirable.
And now, we need a law enforcement unit capable of meeting the enemy on his own ground.
She's screaming psychotic, sir.
Well, we aren't planning to build a toy and carry enough firepower to get the job done.
I got good news for you. You're gonna have a chance for immortality.
With great pleasure, I give you Robocop 2. Yes. Things will be a lot quieter with this boy around.
That thing is a killer!
Kane! Let's step outside.
You're obsolete!
Take it over, creep. Behave yourselves!
That's right. On the next Culture Cast, we are going to be talking about RoboCop 2. Eric will not be joining us. He will be
gone
in Egypt, enjoying the sun and sand.
Mostly just sand and lots of
blood, sand and blood.
Blood and sand.
Oh man,
Egypt,
that's all I think of.
Sand.
Fucking The Mummy. What did you find out there? All we found was sand and blood. Are you going to Egypt to look for Hamunaptra? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I hired a local to take me to the tomb, and
I'm going to steal the Book of the Dead.
Every time I'm on the shore of the Nile, I'm going to scream across to who's ever on the other side of the river that they are on the wrong side of the river, and they are going to be very, very confused.
And they have to respond with, "But we have all the horses."
Yeah.
Oh, good God. Instead of Eric, I will be joined by our good friend, Mr. Odd 5 Films, Mike Wallace, to talk about RoboCop 2, a film that, it's really not great. Until then, Eric, what have you been up to? I guess we kind of already buried the lead a little bit.
Yeah. You know everything that I have been up to. I have divulged my entire life to you on this podcast. I will be leaving the country, and so I will not be watching any movies except for The Mummy, because I'm pretty sure that's the only movie that they have there. It's the only movie that their country will allow is the Brendan Fraser The Mummy series, and that's it. So yeah, I'll be doing that. So that'll be super cool. I'm really excited. And other than that, nothing, man. Just, living life, talking shit on mediocre movies with bad endings.
Well,
yeah, how are you going to do it without me for 2 weeks?
I've done it without you before.
Yeah, the same way that you do it without me every few weeks when emergencies happen or my throat is sore.
Yeah.
I have to take a day to cry.
You, sir, are always doing something.
Yeah, something happens. Something about Mondays that just my Mondays are always fucked. So
does somebody have a case of the Mondays?
I gotta go.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Culture Stash. You can follow Eric on Twitter at Tychomagnetics. You can follow Culture Shocked on Twitter at Culture Shocked. You can head on over to cultureshock.com/culturecast where you can find out more about today's episode. That link is also in the description below. You will find links over to iTunes there where you can rate and review the show, and to Patreon where you can kick a couple dollars our way. We've got an Infinity War addendum and a Ready Player One addendum for our $5 patrons.
There's an Infinity War addendum and I wasn't even on that?
Yeah, it was another hour of Infinity War stuff.
What?
We recorded it right after the podcast.
What?
So we dive even deeper into fucking Infinity War. If you want to hear us talk even more about Infinity War, which a lot of people do because it's Infinity War, because it's the biggest movie of the year, head on over to patreon.com/culture_shocked to check that out. And as always, big thanks to Eric and Wavoka and my good buddy Justin Scott for the intro outro music, and we will see you in the next Culture Cast.
Oh man, two-step, posted with the crew. Yeah. You know how we do, I'm just two-step, drink in my right hand, phone in my other hand, getting to the money. Oh man, two-step, posted with the crew. Yeah. You know how we do.